sometimes people don't have secret agendas, and you have to stop thinking, do they actually want to invite me to this thing? Do they want to, like hang out with me? Yes, they do. They don't have secret agendas. Very few people have secret agendas, and it's probably not your friends. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it while I get my makeup done. So I'm already out of breath. I think this concept of like overthinking whether people actually like you or don't like you comes from high school, where most of us, especially people that are watching this video, you probably got bullied in high school. Yeah. And being bullied is not usually just like something that is incredibly easy to see. It can be something that is very like implicit, and it's very specific to you. Okay, so for me it was like my accent, because I was from Italy, and it's like embarrassing to have an accent apparently. So yeah, that really changed me as a person. And I think I started seeing how people had like some dialogue behind my back that was really like negative dialogue, and I was like, oh my god, they're talking about me. And then they would obviously make some comments to make me feel like shit, and it was very like low-key. You wouldn't think that that's what they were up to, but like you would know that obviously something was going on, and like some people were talking about me, but you wouldn't have thought that it would affect me so much. Like you would just think that you would just let it go after school. But actually I'm still kind of like dealing with that, of course, and that's fine. And I'm not blaming anybody, I'm not angry at anybody, it's just life, and I have to take extra care of myself because I'm an empathetic person, and that's also very much okay. And okay, so basically what I was trying to link it back to is the fact that in high school I feel like a lot of people had a lot to say behind my back, which is pretty much everybody, let's be honest. And that's completely fine. Like it's really not an issue, but I'm trying to link it back to the moment where I thought that being hypervigilant about everything that's actually going around me is something that I need to do to protect myself. Okay, I'm trying to find the linkage between everything, and I really think that that's where it's coming from. And not to mention that even in middle school, when I was in Italy, I can't say that I wasn't made fun of. Like, I guess that everybody gets made fun of sometimes, but I don't know, I just felt like I was a very sensitive person, and it wasn't for me. Okay, it wasn't for me, and I was just trying to fit in like anybody would. And what I'm trying to say is that I got really like hurt by things when I was little, and I just carried that through my early 20s. And these experiences, along with working in many different industries and working in many different places where there's a lot of teamwork going on, and there's a lot of having to get along with people, it really just like made the impact of making me become more hypervigilant about situations which I shouldn't even worry about, and most people are not even talking about me. But recently I just I was kind of like starting to become hyper aware of certain situations, and I was like, oh my god, I need to test out whether these people are talking about me or not when I'm not there. And in fact, I did test it out, and it was wrong. Nobody was talking about me, and I was like, oh my god, I'm actually going insane. And I hope that doesn't sound too insane. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it does in fact sound insane. But you know what? That's my last time testing it out, and that's why I'm making this video saying, you know what, nobody's fucking talking about you. Yeah, they might be. Look, people are always talking about other people, like they are, but not in such a negative way. Like you're thinking that they're talking really badly about you. They're just mentioning you because they hang out with you. It's not as bad as you think it is. And you know what? You actually have to get used to people talking about you, because there is no way, okay, there is no way that you are in somebody's life and they don't talk about you. Like, there's just no way. Like, you will be talked about, but it's not in a negative way like you're thinking it. You guys, today I just don't, like, side note, I just don't feel like I look great. My hair is like, keeps on being like extremely oily for no fucking reason. And I just have like a little bit of acne for some fucking, well, I know the reason. I've been eating like shit. But I just don't understand why. Like, I just want to eat and I want to be happy, and I don't eat that bad. I don't ever eat take out food. But apparently my skin is like, yeah, we're gonna like really be upset about anything you put into this fucking body. Anyways, little side note, but what I'm trying to say is that you, instead of listening to conversations, testing out things, and being hyper aware of everything, remember that all you have to do is exist in that moment, interact with the person in front of you. Whatever is said around you will stay behind your fucking ass. Okay? And that's why it's being said behind you, because it's not meant for you to hear it, because it's not important. If it was important, it would be brought to your attention. And you know, sometimes people bring shit to your attention that is irrelevant. It's up to you to process that information in a certain way, to then either internalize it or to reject it. Okay, very important, because I used to be the type of person that was just like internalizing everything. I was like, okay, if you're thinking it, I'm gonna like just digest it like I'm eating my pasta, and that's just what I'm gonna do. But that's very wrong, you know. Just because someone that you love has an opinion of you, it doesn't mean it's the right perception of you. You are the person who has the best perception of yourself. Of course, there are people like, you know, your boyfriend, your sister, or whatever, that really understand your character. But you also need to get used to the fact that those people that you love might not accurately see you perfectly, like your mom or your dad, your sister. It might not be exactly what you're thinking they think of you, okay? And that's fine. With time, they will understand you, or with time, you guys will just grow apart further, but with respect and always hanging out, of course, if it's nothing bad. But, you know, I'm just saying, don't make my mistake of just being hyper vigilant and hyper aware of everything, because there's really no need to be hyper aware of everything all the time. What's causing this causing is you having a shit experience, when you are literally meant to like interact with people and experience things and just chill. Like, just, you are there to literally talk to one person at a time, or maybe talk to a group. Like, you don't need to overlook the entire event that you're going to. You don't need to do that, because if you did, then you would be like a public speaker, or you would be like the manager of the event. So you really don't need to. Anyways, how's this looking? This is looking pretty good on camera. I'm afraid it just doesn't look that good in real life, but that's fine. So that is my message for today. I also kind of want to just touch base on like the importance of not being hyper vigilant on your like identity. Like I was saying before, you are something, okay? You are a soul in a physical body, and there are certain layers that you have. Like, do you see the skin? It's a layer, you know, of your physical body. And in that way, you need to build the same kind of thing for information to get to your soul, because if you don't, you're just going to be shoving everything inside, and that's not good, okay? Because sometimes we have to learn things, and we have to learn things from the people that we love, and they are there to teach us a lesson. It doesn't mean you have to cut them off. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's just something. It's a fact, okay? It's a spiritual fact. And you just need to understand that it's not the end of the world if somebody's trying to teach you a lesson through something negative, okay? You just got to reflect on your own and move forward. But I'm just talking about situations that are not like crazy, okay? Of course, if like I always say, like a little parenthesis, like I always say, if it's something really bad, of course you have to distance yourself. But I'm trying to make you understand that the answer is not always abandoning the people that you love because you think they're doing you wrong. It's not always the answer, okay? And living together in a society is essential, okay? Because in these times, we are constantly just thinking about ourselves, but we need to think of the community. And that's why working through these issues internally helps you reconnect with your community, and it helps you not see them as monsters, and that can let you have lots of relationships. Like in my country, in Italy, we have so many friends, like we have so many relationships. And when I was in Australia, you know, a little bit it's because I am an immigrant. I was an immigrant there, so of course, you know, I'm not somebody that was born there, but I struggled a lot with, you know, with human interaction because I was labeled as like too much and too little and not enough and not good. And because, you know, people in Australia can be, I'm not generalizing, okay, I'm not generalizing, I'm just saying that the people that I met were kind of, you know, they didn't want to form close relationships. They just wanted to have a buddy to hang out with at university. And at school it was the same. I was not friendly. I don't think I'm an unfriendly person, to be honest with you. I think I'm very social, but I kind of didn't have a lot of friends as much as I have in Italy, because literally everybody just talks to you here because they work through issues and they work through things a little bit more, and they don't just like fuck everyone off like straight away because they live in a community and they have to make it work. So that can be toxic, but it can also be really good because you realize that nothing is that deep. Yes, you do need to do the work, the inner work, but it's not that deep sometimes, and we take it to the next level when we start overthinking, and nobody stops us from overthinking, and we just isolate ourselves. I hope that I'm actually like addressing this in a good way, because you know, it's a really difficult topic to talk about, and I am really passionate about it because, you know, as much as look, I have, my boyfriend is not from Italy, okay? He was living in Australia as many years as I was. We both came to Australia when we were very little, like 14 years old, and our experience is very similar. We struggled bonding with people. We struggled with like finding people that we could rely on, because the relationships were very superficial no matter how much you tried to get into someone's life. And here it's like, you know, he's bonding with everybody. He's really just finding friends because he is a social person. But unfortunately, our experience was negative for the both of us in Australia and in two different cities. Like, he's from Sydney, I'm from Perth. I lived in Perth and he lived in Sydney, and it was negative on both sides. And you know, it's like, wow. And that's my little message for you, honey. I hope you're integrating this information and it's making you think and realize some things. Oh my god. And I hope, yeah, that you feel a little bit better. You don't need to catastrophize every relationship in your life. If you have like a conflict, it's fine. Everybody has conflicts. Like, we're all human, and you don't need to cancel anybody straight away because you had a conflict. I hope that you can take that away from this video. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. I love comments and I take a lot of inspiration from comments. One girl was my friend. She was telling me to do more vlogs, and I'm in the process of making a weekly vlog. Let me know if you like it. And I've got so many videos coming up. I'm uploading them. There's like 7, like so many. And subscribe if you like my videos, and thank you so much for being here. Love you. See you in the next one.